It's your boy Patagonist, let them know, representing the Crest in this Draco Mays interview.
How'd you get the inspiration for your name?
Well, actually, an old friend of mine's back in the day made the name. I was talking to him in that time, and I was just basically trying to come up with a cool rap name that blends my name and something to describe me. And at the time, Joey Badass was popping. He had, his name is Joseph Badman, and he mixed it with Badass, Joey Badass, and Kendrick Lamar was going by Kendrick Lamar, his regular name. So I wanted something cool, so my friend was like, you know what? You should call yourself Patagonist. And I was like, nah, man, that shit weak, bro. That shit lame. And I was coming up with other names like Quiet Swame and Continental Artillery, and I was just thinking to myself, nobody is going to say that at a concert. So I just settled with Patagonist, and eventually it had a ring to it to me, and I thought it was raw. And what it means is, it just means I'm a character. Like, I'm a character in real life, I'm a character in the music. I could play the good guy, I could play the villain.
Like protagonist, Patagonist?
Yeah, antagonist, protagonist.
That's real creative.
Mixed with Patrick. Oh, I forgot to tell you that too. My middle name is Patrick. My full name is Winthrop Patrick Williams.
Well, I ain't know that one.
Yeah.
Have you ever said your name? Like, is your name on your social media, like your real name?
I actually have a personal page named Winthrop Williams. But yeah, Patrick is my middle name, and it's what everybody has called me since I was born, man. Everybody called me Patrick. They don't like to say Winthrop, so.
Do you like your name, Winthrop?
At first, I hated it. I ain't gonna lie. Like in school, I'd be like, it's Patrick. But now, like, I love my name, man. It's something that it was passed down from my pops, because my pops is Winthrop Patrick Williams, too. He's the second. I'm the third.
Oh. They ain't think about calling you, like, Trey or something?
Nah, man. That's too cliche.
But, what age did you start making music, though?
I actually started making music very young. It was the 5th grade I started making music. So 10, 11-ish, I started making music. I remember it was a homie of mine. He used to write poetry, and I used to kind of be like, I wouldn't say like too stressed, but I was stressed about little things. And he was like, you know what? The best way to cope with that or just to handle it is to write it. So I started writing.
And 10, 11, when did you actually start, like, produce, like, actually having songs out?
I started putting songs out, I would say maybe 2012, 2013. Because I remember my granddad had bought me a studio for 8th grade graduation. And I had basically taught myself how to mix. I had taught myself how to record. I also recorded in his studio prior to that. He also even gave me my first performance. I performed in the back of my grandma's house, basically with his band and everything, and we performed my very first recorded song. So yeah, basically 2012, 2013, I started releasing music and doing it consistently. Just basically remixing other people's songs and then doing my own music.
What was your very first song?
My very first song was a song called Wild and Crazy. And believe it or not, if you compare that song to where I'm at right now, extreme growth. Like that song, when you listen to it, you'll listen to it and be like, dang, that's not even the same artist, because I was freestyling for one on it. So this was in the days when I first started freestyling. And on top of that, it was like a funky beat. So like them old school beats that you hear like the OGs doing with the guitars and the drums and everything, like Earth, Wind and Fire, that's what I was rapping over back in the day.
And would you perform this at the performance?
Yes, I did. And the craziest part is I forgot my lyrics. I forgot my lyrics and I had to freestyle it in too.
Did your family like it though?
Yeah, they liked it, but you know, I felt like low key it was one of like those participation things. Like you got up there and just performed, so they just wanted to give me my props for performing. The whole time, if I was anybody else, they would have been like, "Boy, get out of here! That joint whack."
Do they still support you now with your career?
I feel like it's bittersweet. I feel like my family, when they look at me and they view me, like my grandma, my mom now, like before it wasn't like this, but my mom now, they support me and they support what I'm doing. But before, the main people, they were iffy about it. They believed that I should live the regular life, like graduate out of school and go get a 9-to-5 job, move up in the company, and not pursue music because they thought it was a waste of time. And that's low-key what my family, that's not the close family, do. They want me to do that life because that life is success to them and not chasing this. And I don't care what they think, G. Like, I'm a rebel when it comes to this.
Yeah, you said graduate. Like, what year did you graduate though?
I graduated 2016.
Oh, so you're like, let me do the math. So you're like 24?
I'm 24. Yeah, yes sir.
And did you go to college after school?
I did go to college. I actually went to community college, and believe it or not, I did get accepted in colleges. I could have had went to, I think that was Western Illinois. But when I went to go visit, I didn't like it. I didn't care. Like,
what was wrong?
I just saw all these people that did not look like me, and I didn't feel like I could relate to it. So I was like, I'm out.
Other than
and then also Columbia, I got accepted at Columbia as well. But I saw that tuition. I had no scholarship.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not paying that. So
I
went to community college, and I went to Prairie State. I'm sure you probably heard of it, probably. And honestly, I don't regret it. But boy, that really shaped me to be the person I am today.
Going to Prairie State?
Yeah, going to Prairie State. It really taught me like real life. Like I feel like in senior year or even just high school in general, I kind of was like one of those people that was in the background. Like I got popular sometimes, a couple of times, because I had transfer schools, by the way. I had went to Hillcrest first. And then like basically I was starting to get noticed in that school. But when I got noticed in that school, I transferred to another school. And I hated the hell out of that school. It was Eisenhower. I went to Eisenhower all the way in Blue Island. Because me and my mom, we had basically was living in a house in Hazelcrest and it got foreclosed.
Oh, damn.
So basically we had to move with my grandma at the time all the way in Robbins, which is right next to Eisenhower. We eventually moved back. Well, not back, but we actually moved to Country Club Hills, which is near Hillcrest, but surprisingly it wasn't in their district still. It was more so like Ritz Central. And I heard about all these ghetto tales from Ritz Central. I was like, yeah, nah, not me. But Eisenhower had his moments too, so I don't know why I didn't make that move.
Both your high school experience, you said college shaped you more.
I feel like it shaped me more. For one, because in high school, I kind of basically avoided relationships. I mean, I tried to talk to women or whatever, but they reject me. I was going through my ugly phase, blah, blah, blah. Plus, I didn't even have the dreads. But when I got to college, I started maturing more. I had a little bit more freedom. I wasn't under a strict household or whatever. I could do whatever I want pretty much. And that's when I got with my first girlfriend, first official, because whatever I was in before, it was like puppy love, whatever, and it was nothing. But I went through my first heartbreak and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And boy, that was hell. That's all I gotta say. After that, I started meeting friends. I started meeting different personalities. And I started to see the world. I started to see how really the world works, honestly.
Would you say that the going to Prairie State was worth it?
I say it was, for sure, because I met some wonderful people there. As a matter of fact, one of the people that strongly impacted my career, she went to your school actually. Her name was Destiny Webster. And basically she was one of the very first people in my life to actually believe in my music career. And she was actually my girlfriend too before she passed.
Sorry for your loss.
No, it's okay, bro. But I think about what she wanted out of this life. For one, how motivational she was. She would be on the move and always do things to make stuff happen. And I also think about the belief that she had in me and instilled in me. And I just let that be one of the things and engines to take me off when it comes to music.
Would you say that that's the most like inspirational things that happened to you?
No, I wouldn't. I would say that's one of the biggest things. But I feel like if we're talking about my life right now, one of the biggest inspirations for me right now is my family. Like I have a daughter now, and I also have a girlfriend. That's our daughter together, and they just basically motivate me to be better overall, not just in music, just as a person in general.
That's real good. With your music and motivation, what is like? So you named two motivations. Like, what's the third one? Like top three motivations.
Well, I could run you down through the whole list. It's not super long. The things that motivate me to do music, for one, is my passion. It's been something that's been in the family for a long time. It's been passed down to me, and I just see that as motivation alone. The other thing that motivates me is the youth, man, the kids, man, just to show them that we can all do this. It's not just a specific person that breaks through and rap and that's it. Like, you could be your own personality and break through in this industry. And lastly, just basically to prove everybody out there wrong when it comes to success in general. Like, why do we have to be in a 9 to 5? Why do we have to climb the ladder of a company to be something in life?
That is true.
Why can't a kid out of Hazelcrest, Illinois, explode and blow up and not go through the traditional way to make something out of himself in life? I'm trying to prove that wrong, that narrative wrong, because it's tired, man. It's been proven to us wrong several times too already. But me, like, my situation, it's different, but it's the same at the same time. And I feel like if I do it, we all can do it.
It's very true.